Hi, Kelly here from Cochrane Toyota. We're located at 8 River Heights Drive, Cochrane, Alberta. And today I've got a 2020 Rav4 Hybrid Limited to show you. So these guys are our top seller. The Hybrid is an amazing rig all the way through. Couple of neat features of these guys, they're all-wheel drive systems. Essentially it's a front-wheel drive with 2 electric motors in the back. This thing is going to be your most advanced all-wheel drive system we've got. A lot of cool things out there. Dual exhaust out the Hybrid back, and again you're going to get a little more power in these guys because it's the same 4-cylinder engine as the other guys, but you're going to have those electric motors throughout to give you more power. So it sits a little more planted because the battery is sitting in the back and you have a little bit more weight there, but with more power, a little bit more of a planted feel. These things I would say are the best driving, best feel that Toyota has in the Rav4 section. This guy does have your radar cruise control up front, so that blue Toyota symbol is your radar, and then you've got your lane departure anti-collision camera up there in the front. It's also looking with your automatic high beams as well, so that's where that's all coming from. And if you notice down there, you do have your bird's eye camera. So there are cameras underneath the mirrors as well, and I'll show you what that looks like on the inside. But overall, super clean truck. And again, this is the black in color with the chrome accent. Really pops on this guy as well. So we'll jump into the back of this guy, show you a couple of the options. With the smart key technology, I'll take a peek at that. You're gonna have your trunk release as well right from the key. So I can open that guy up. And of course, being new, it's gonna have a lot of stuff that's still in plastic in here. You're gonna have your upgraded JBL stereo in it, the tie downs all the way through, and then of course your tonneau cover. That thing is removable and it does tuck underneath here. So if you take a peek at right underneath there, that little space, all the way to that space, you can tuck that underneath so you don't have to have it flopping around in your garage. You can either keep it installed there or underneath, which is a nice option as well. A couple things you're going to notice right from the get-go is if you jump back and see how open that is, the way they've sloped that new back end, you can just get into everything in there. It's a nice option, real clean. You're not going to hit your head on anything. And again, when you open these things up, I'll show you how much space you have in there as well. So I can press this button. This is a height adjustable one, so again, if you like it a little bit lower, depending on the height of garage or your own height, you can actually adjust this guy. So I can hammer that guy right there, shuts her up. We'll jump into the back seat here and show you a couple of the spaces in here. The Limited has the heated seats in the rear as well, so you're going to heat these seats. I like the little compounds here, all these kind of hard rubber to get you a good grip in there. Soft touch everywhere, so this is a soft touch material there as well. And you'll notice we've got tub style floor mats in this guy as well, so you don't have to worry about the slush in the winter. In the back here, you've got USB ports, 2 of them for charging in the rear occupants. Of course, cup holders back here, that flips up. And if I'd like, I can toss these guys down and go through that whole space. So again, lots of room when you put that down. And again, that tonneau cover can be removed. And overall, you'll have almost infinite space when you bring this guy back down, and then nice and easy back up again. One of the things you'll notice with the Limited as well, you have the locking sensors on all doors. So if I would like to, I can get in and out of every single door. You'll see that same sensor on this guy as well. So when I hit that, and if I unlock it, it's right there. So I had to wait a second. Not often do you lock and unlock it real quick like that. One of the neat little functions with that system, if I hold down both buttons, you see it. No, there you go. So you see that little red light. If I hold down both guys like this, I can wait for the car to beep. And as soon as that car beeps, I can adjust to have just this door open or all 4 of them open when I use the unlock function. It's a nice option there that not many people know about. Power windows, power locks, the lockout mirror, and then a lockout window piece, and then the mirrors. And then you have memory seats in this guy as well, which is a nice option to have, especially if you get a height difference between the 2 different drivers. Again, soft touch feeling through there. On the seat, you're gonna have lumbar support, back and seat, so you're gonna really adjust this guy to be comfortable for you. And this guy's gonna have your leather seats throughout with that secondary stitching in the inside. Super nice. Super comfortable interior. We'll jump onto this side and you have a few more features on here. You're gonna have your dimming switch for your dash, of course, your automatic headlights. And if I turn this guy to the automatic right there and push that forward, have this button on right here, I never need to touch my headlights again. Heated windshield there as well, so windshield wipers, so you don't have to worry about locking up. This is going to give you a 360 view. I'll show you what that thing looks like when we get inside. Heated steering wheel, of course, and then your button right there. If you notice that light in there at nighttime, there is some ambient lighting built in throughout this car. And again, a nice another rubber compound there to keep things from flopping around. We'll jump in and show you a couple more of the options. So now that I'm in the vehicle, you've got lots of space. These new Rav4s are definitely wider than the previous ones. So when I reach across, I definitely have to lean to get across there. That's the first thing you'll notice if you had a previous Rav4, that it's about 2 or 3 inches wider, and you can definitely feel it in here. Inside, large cup holders, and then one of the things I like, if you look, there's no little spaces for dirt and debris to get into. Really easy, clean, and then a good overall space in total there for you. So in here, you've got 2 USB chargers that can charge, plus a little piece you can hold the phones in there if you'd like, and lots of space to store things in there. So 2 USBs. Couple options here. You've got your EV mode in the hybrid. I can tell the computer system that I prefer to stay in electric mode. So if your battery's charged up, it will force it into electric mode more often than not. Not permanent electric mode, but again, a really nice option there for you, especially if you're looking to save a bunch of fuel. This is going to be your gas pedal, your transmission, a couple different things, because it's all electronic now. I can really customize how I would like it to drive. A little bit more sporty, so a little more power, or if I'm looking for ultimate fuel economy, I can adjust it there, or most of it's going to be is that normal. Trail mode is basically an upgraded 4-wheel drive system, so you're going to click that button, and it really turns that all-wheel drive into less torquey. It's going to make sure you're not slipping. All around, it's going to give you a better off-road experience. And of course, you've got your electronic parking brake, so it just automatically goes in there for you. And then your hold button. So I press this guy when I start driving, and when I come up to a stop sign or a light or something like that, I don't need to hold down the brake. I can just stop, and it will automatically hold there for me. You'll notice this guy does have the shifting points, so I can downshift even though I'm in a hybrid. A little plastic piece right there, otherwise you'd see that a little more clearly, but I can shift through there as well. Another thing I like is this material, again, this kind of rubbery material, so you can stick a cell phone in there. It is definitely big enough for the big cell phones, but this is your Qi wireless charger. And along with that, you've got your hard, this side, your hard USB, which means you're going to be able to plug in your phone if you want to use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, everything in there. If you'd rather hard point it rather than Bluetooth, you can use that one underneath there. Plus you've got your 12-volt battery charger. You've also got heated air-conditioned seats for both driver and passenger. I can turn my traction control off if I'd like the system to be a little bit more manual feeling, so a little less overriding my driving. But again, it's right there for you. Dual climate control, so I can really set this up. You've got your sync button that will allow you to control everything from this one. But if this person would like a little hotter or colder, you can adjust it manually. And if you take a peek here, you've got your basically auto mode, and of course your heated front, heated rear. The rear one here is also going to heat your mirrors in that spot as well. So I'll use the push button start, turn this guy on. I'll show you a couple of the options in here as well. So you'll notice the first off, that new screen in there is large. Lots of digital space in there and a digital tachometer, which is awesome. And then I'm going to use the steering wheel piece here to control that guy as well. So I'll run through some of the options. So first off, you're going to have your fuel economy in the whole bit right there. Blind spot monitors, you can see, are turned on, that little green button there. And I'll show you what those look like in a second. A couple different options you can roll through from the get-go. We'll go over. This one's going to have, if I go to drive, you're going to see your how far you're going to sit in front of traffic. So if I turn the cruise control on, hit set, and I go back, then I've got my cruise control or my radar. So I can set how far I want the traffic to sit in front of me. And I can turn my lane departure off right there as well. So again, lots of different options depending on how you'd like to drive this guy. If I go over even further, I've got audio, so I can click this on and you can actually see your audio settings right there. And then I can scroll through them right there, but I wouldn't want to scroll through that song. That's a great song right through there. So I'll turn that off. More information on your trip. And then again, pre-collision settings, and I can turn on, off all my safety features right there if I'd like. All those are going to reset to on when you turn the car off and on. So every time you jump in the car, all your safety settings are ready to go. And you'll notice in here, you've got your radar ready up in the top left there, your time, and all your information you need in that same screen. We'll jump back out to the steering wheel. I was using this guy here to control that whole entire setting. You'll notice at the bottom you have your volume and your audio controls, and then of course my Bluetooth phone, and I can chat with the car right here as well. I can dictate texts and emails and all sorts of things from this guy. On here you got your cruise control. Just back in park. Cruise control setting right there on my radar, and all that stuff is set right there. With the heated steering wheel, it is a nice option. Again, leather wrapped with the molded connection there as well. So super awesome. We'll jump into this guy, and I think this is one of the bigger things that Toyota's upgraded in the last little bit, is how easy this thing is to use. So if you just want to plug in your Apple or Android Auto, you can use your cell phone screen off of this guy, and some people prefer that, but this system is very easy as well. So if I want to go to the navigation, I can go to a full screen, which is a nice option. If I go into menu, I can adjust pretty much everything. Go to setup, and I want to change that main home screen. So I can jump into here and adjust the layout, so how I'd like this thing to look. Maybe I'd like the navigation to be on the other side, so I'll click it to here. And then instead of the audio there, I'd rather have eco showing on this side. So I can get rid of the audio, and maybe what I'd like to do on this one is put the weather. So when I hook up the Toyota app, I can actually hook up the weather there, maybe the clock there, depending on how you like this thing to look. If I go back to the home screen now, you can see that whole setup there. So the what the hybrid system is actually doing right now, you can hear the engine is charging the battery, and then again, if I'm starting to drive, it will go. The phone piece is nice because you can set up, when you register a phone, it's a couple buttons away. I hit yes, and now I go into my cell phone and hit my settings, and I'm done. I've hooked up the phone. So super easy to use right there. And then that will show your 4 favorite. It'll be a cross in there and have your 4 favorite and a easy button. So hit it once and off I go. This thing also has a pretty awesome backup camera. You'll notice right off the bat that it's got the bird's eye camera sitting in there for you. And then as I turn the steering wheel, you'll see that whole thing move. So that's going to be the footprint of the car. And you'll see in that small one where my nose is going to touch as well. So nice option. And then I can really go through and adjust what I want this to look like. So I got lots of angles that I can really see where I'd like. And then one of the nice options, if I put this thing back into drive, that button down here again, I was showing you that button to back down here. If I click that guy, it's going to give me a 360 view almost underneath my car. It's a nice view to see if you've got toys or things right around you, if you're on a curb. Again, a nice little touch there. It's going to jump out and give you a top view. Again, that's that button down there. If I'm just in a parking spot and I'm real tight and I want to make sure, nice feature. This does have the JBL upgraded stereo. The nice thing about that is it's a really clean stereo, nice and clear to hear, so you don't have to turn it up, especially on the highway. You don't have to turn it up to overdo the noise of the road. Another nice option with this guy is you do have your digital backup camera. So I can go into the settings right now. It's kind of a little high for me, but you can go in and adjust how this camera is going to look, so I can actually see directly. So even if I move this, you're going to see it's not actually doing anything. There's a setting right here that can adjust where this thing is actually looking. So if I click back, I got my traditional. If I click forward, I've got my digital, which is a nice option as well. So more and more people are really liking that digital version because it's a nice clean look, but it's definitely a little bit getting used to on that guy. You'll notice in this that ambient lighting is underneath here as well, and there's that soft rubber piece, so if you stick a phone or keys or something there, it's not going to slide back and forth. Nice option there for you. You've got your storage. That's your block heater cable. In the front it is a plug-in rather than the little dangly bit. The orange bag there is your key for your locking wheel nuts, and then of course a couple more little features there for you being a new vehicle. Nice soft stitch all the way through. And again, you take a peek at this guy. I roll in and look back. You barely have any blind spots in this guy. That's the nice thing about that little window back there. And again, sunroof. But overall, real nice options. This guy, I've got a few more features. I've got my safety piece right here. I can set this up to be a concierge service and a whole bunch of other things. And of course, a couple different options there as well. So again, overall, these hybrids are amazing. They're going to get you your best fuel economy, your best power, and just a great vehicle all around. And these limiteds are set up really nice. A lot of features that Toyota's just introduced from the Lexus line. But again, awesome vehicle all around. Anyways, come on down, take a peek at it, Cochrane Toyota.